Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Present. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Am I audible now? Okay, sir. Okay. Um, yes, sir. Just uh, is my presentation is visual? Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Mhm. Can anybody guide me how to show my presentation here? I'm okay. Okay. Trying just a minute. Okay. Entire screen. And it is not working.
Yes, sir. Present. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Can I start? Oh, okay, sir. Good, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my paper presentation. First of all, let me thank you all, especially the organizers, IQAC, DB College, giving me an opportunity to present here. Let me start by saying a few words about myself. My name is MD Ayub Sheikh. I have done MSc in Physics and MTech in Microwaves from the University of Bardhaman. Now working as a lecturer in physics in selection grade for last 23 years in Government Polytechnic in the state of West Bengal. Now my present posting at Central Calcutta Polytechnic, Kolkata. Now I am pursuing PhD coursework under MACAO under the guidance of Dr. Sudhanshu Chakraborty, faculty member of Asansol Engineering College, Asansol. As you can see on the screen, my topics is investigation on relaxation phenomena of calcium silicate using complex impedance spectroscopy. Content of the topics is showing here: introduction, experimental methodologies, result and discussion, and conclusion. Now, what is dielectrics? Dielectrics materials are non-conductors of electricity because they do not contain free charge or free electron. The electrical conductivity of dielectrics is either very small or zero. Some examples of dielectrics are ceramics, mica, resins, wood, glass, etc. For a particular applied electric field, dielectric loses its insulation character. Dielectrics are said it is a sufficient supporter of electrostatic field. An ideal dielectric material is one which has no free charge. All the charges present in the material are bound charges. Under the action of an electric field, positive charges move in the direction of electric field and negative charges move opposite to the electric field. Hence, positive and negative parts of each molecule are displaced from their equilibrium position. These displacements, however, are limited by strong restoring forces which are set up by changing charge configuration in the molecule. The dielectric is said to be polarized. A polarized dielectric is neutral as a whole, but it produces an electric field both an exterior point and inside the dielectrics as well. Now, what is dielectric relaxation? Dielectric relaxation is the momentary delay in the dielectric constant of a material. This is usually caused by the delay in molecular polarization with respect to a changing electric field in a dielectric medium. Dielectric relaxation as a whole is the result of movement of dipoles and electric charges due to an applied alternating field and is usually observed in the frequency range 100 to 10 to the power 10 hertz. This frequency is called dielectric frequency, and reciprocal of dielectric frequency is called relaxation time. Reorientation of dipole in response to an electric field is characterized by relaxation time. Now, what is complex impedance spectroscopy? Complex impedance spectroscopy is a powerful technique was used to characterize the dielectric properties of the material. The polarization effect in the relaxation behavior due to the applied electric field is due to bulk and grain boundary effect can also be explained. A complex impedance is an impedance that will have a phase shift between the voltage across it and the current through it. Complex impedance and electric modulus were used to explain the relaxation property. In experimental methodologies, 3 steps are followed. First, sample preparation by solid state reaction method at 750 degrees Celsius temperature. Then characterization by X-ray diffraction technique, and then data collection by Hayoki 353057 high tester impedance analyzer. In sample preparation, the crystalline calcium silicate was synthesized from calcium carbonate and silicon dioxide with suitable stoichiometry. The mixture of calcium carbonate and silicon dioxide was grinded using ball milled for 26 hours and then sintered for 750 degrees Celsius for 10 hours in two phases, total 20 hours. Silver electrodes were deposited on both the surfaces of calcium silicate by silver pastel coating, which was dried at 200 Celsius for 40 minutes. After preparation of sample of calcium silicate, the sample is characterized by X-ray diffraction technique using diffractometer, Philips Experto Pro X-ray powder diffractometer model number PW1710. And X-ray radiation, XRD radiation was used, copper K alpha radiation having wavelength 1.5405 angstrom. Picture 1 shows the XRD diffraction picture. Okay, sir. We need more time. Picture 1 showing the X-ray diffraction pattern of calcium silicate. It consists sharp diffraction peak of varying intensity that is different from those of precursor materials, and this confirms the formation of calcium silicate. Now, data collection. Data have been collected in the form of complex impedance, dielectric loss, capacitance, and phase angle. All data were collected in the frequency range of 10 kHz to 5 MHz. In the frequency range 15 degrees centigrade to 450 degrees centigrade. After collecting data, here a plot between a real component of complex impedance and imaginary component of complex impedance. This plot is known as Nyquist plot. This data plot obey revised formalism. Figure 2 composed of prominently one semicircle for the electrical response of calcium silicate, indicating the effect of grain boundary contribution, mainly in relaxation mechanism. A semicircle is also noticed in the high frequency range, correspond to the effect of grain or bulk in relaxation property. Both semicircle suggest device relaxation behavior of calcium silicate. This is another plot between frequency and imaginary component of impedance. Here, asymmetric peaks are found around the maximum frequency, which indicates the okay, sir. So relaxation behavior of dielectric materials can be studied in the in terms of impedance, complex impedance, loss tangent, capacitance, conductor, etc. In this paper, we have studied the frequency dependent complex impedance, loss tangent, etc. This paper concludes a hopping time conduction mechanism involved in the relaxation process of calcium silicate. The relaxation property includes both long range and short range conductivity and strongly depends on complex impedance. The moderate value of complex impedance suggests different industrial application of calcium silicate. These are our papers with our guide. Thanks you. Welcome.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm presenting my paper, Evolution of the Student and the Classroom, a comparative study between the ancient Indian education system and NEP 2020. So since ancient times, India has recognized the value of education in human life. Ancient thinkers believed that there could be no healthy society without educated people. They have carefully and wisely designed an educational program aimed at the harmonious development of the mind and bodies of their students. What they formulated was a very liberal and inclusive education of a very high standard, calculated to prepare students for a useful life in which they could enjoy all aspects of life. It is essentially a universally applicable educational framework that emphasizes the meaning of human life and the connection at all levels of existence as the foundation of human values. Findings from the ancient Indian educational system go a long way in promoting the development of a creative, ethical, and learning mind. It concerns greater progress and, above all, more importantly, the inner transformation of human consciousness. Chapter 11 of NEP 2020 states towards a more holistic and interdisciplinary education. In this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, we can't plan, but we can make tomorrow's world better by proactively responding to different situations. To this end, individuals must be economically independent and be full of humanitarian, ethical, constitutional, and universal values such as truth, fair conduct, peace, love, nonviolence, scientific temper, and other civic and human values such as life skills, seva or service, teaching, and participation in charitable programs, which should be mandatory for them. Academic time is a university course where, in addition to academics, certain soft skills such as communication, debate, and discussion are required in each course. This is followed by consistent specialization in the chosen field. Internships should be introduced to be able to understand the practical knowledge of the subject matter. Students should be allowed to intern with local industries, businesses, artists, craftsmen, and more, and also research internship with teachers and other researchers for some time. And if there is holistic development with a value based education, then people need such universities to get an education. It should be a model for making it easier to understand the political viewpoint by seeing it with your own eyes. Developing a holistic individual requires a holistic model that takes into account all relevant ideas laid out in the aforementioned guidelines. In India, before COVID 19, teachers were using conventional methods for teaching and learning, that is, teachers were the focal point of learning in the classroom. But the situation has changed now. National Education Policy 2020 has a special focus on online and digital education as it recognizes the importance of leveraging the advantages of technology while acknowledging its potential risks and dangers. This paper will thus be more like a comparative study between what and how the ancient education system taught and the present education system brought to us by the NEP 2020 after COVID 19. The evolution of the concept of student and structure of the classroom in the ancient Indian education system and NEP 2020 in India can be compared and contrasted to understand the changes and continuities over time. Let's explore the key features of each system. In ancient India, education was primarily communicated through the Gurukul system. Scholars lived with the practitioner in a hermitage or vihar, imbibing knowledge and taught through a close school teacher pupil relationship. The word Gurukul is derived from the Sanskrit words Guru, meaning teacher, and Kul, meaning family or home. The Gurukul system emphasized a holistic approach to education, focusing not only on academic knowledge, but also on character development, physical training, and moral values. The gurus played a crucial role in imparting knowledge, shaping the student's character, and instilling values through close mentorship and personal interaction. Discipline and self discipline were significant aspects of the Gurukul system. Students were expected to adhere to strict rules and regulations, including daily course and participating in ashram activities. They would assist the Guru in various tasks such as collecting firewood, cooking, and maintaining the ashram. The Gurukul system had a decentralized structure with multiple Gurukuls existing across different regions of India. Each Gurukul had a limited number of students, ensuring personalized attention and a close teacher student relationship. The system catered to both boys and girls, although girls were generally underrepresented. Oral education played a significant role in the transmission of knowledge and the educational process. Ancient Indian knowledge and teachings were classified into two main categories, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti refers to the sacred texts that were considered divine revelations, such as the Vedas and Upanishads. These texts were preserved through oral recitation and memorization by successive generations of learned individuals. Smriti texts, on the other hand, were derived from human memory and included texts like the epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, Purans, and Dharma Shastras. The gurus would recite verses, hymns, philosophical teachings, stories, and other forms of knowledge which the Shishya would diligently listen to and memorize. I'll just take 2 minutes. Yes, okay. So this is how the ancient Indian education system was. So the NEP 2020 also focuses on holistic education by aiming to foster critical thinking, creativity, and overall well-being of students. The policy focuses on shifting from a teacher-centric approach to a more learner-centric one, recognizing each student's uniqueness and needs. NEP 2020 promotes multidisciplinary education, allowing students to choose subjects from different streams and fostering the integration of knowledge. The policy encourages a flexible curriculum, enabling students to choose subjects based on their interests and aspirations. It also recognizes the role of technology in education and encourages the integration of digital tools and online learning platforms. Now, the difference between both these education systems can be divided into four divisions. First is the pedagogical shift, whereas both systems aim to provide a holistic education, but NEP 2020 highlights a shift towards a more student-centric approach incorporating diverse learning methodologies. Then the ancient Indian education system emphasized personalized instruction, while NEP 2020 encourages flexibility. And the ancient Indian education system relied heavily on memorization and oral transmission, while NEP emphasizes conceptual understanding and multidisciplinary learning. So, in conclusion, we can say that it is important to note that the NEP 2020 draws inspiration from various educational systems, including ancient Indian traditions, to address the needs of a modern, diverse society. While there are differences between the ancient Indian education system and NEP 2020, both systems share a common goal of nurturing well rounded individuals with a focus on holistic development and lifelong learning. Thank you very much.
I am audible and visible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, my presentation is visible. Hello. Yes, yes. Uh, good afternoon, respected chairperson. Very good afternoon, other delegates. I would like to thanks to Seminar Organizing Committee of BB College Asansol opportunity my presentation in this seminar. Myself, Prakash Mistry, Assistant Professor in Geography, Kishore Bharati Bhagavad College. Today, my presentation topic, open source educational resource for geographical studies. Now, what is the open source? It is digitized materials offered freely, openly, and educator, student, and self-learners to use the use of teaching learning process. In my subject in geography, a broad aspect of open source in geography studies, today I will deliver how to source of educational resource for geographical study, wherein different source of development geographical studies and different source of information and easily accessible of data collection of data source, because geography subject a broad aspect of data bank. So in this aspect, need of open source learning management systems incorporate in geography in school level, college level, and university in others educational level. This is the open source methods in developed in geographic curriculum, higher education, and geographical research. This is the very much popular in this context. In the study aims to develop a methodological of geographical open source in all information and data source, including open source software, remote sensing GIS, geographical information systems, in order to analysis the final result. We instruct our undergraduate geography student to look for and demand open data as well as to use open source tool in present context of national education policy. Finally, we encourage students in geography teaching and higher studies in the particulars, the openness in the education resource in the particular subject. Now, the state of geography of fundamental knowledge in the basically of two things. The geography is mainly relation between man and environment relationship. This is the physical aspect and human aspect. Now, then geography depends on web knowledge. This the web knowledge is computer-based learning, internet and multimedia platform, audio, video, graphics, and other media in virtual field trip. It is the interactive web-based experience. The student will give some idea of location or topic or things using series of website that have been linked in fashion to create guide and learning experience. A great way to move or motive student learning to a specific topic in a specific content area, offer a student more opportunities because they can go to place they would not normally to able to go. Example for Amazon forest fire, example for coral reefs. Is the next part is the part of different source of web-based knowledge in different open source software. It is the QGIS, ArcGIS, and Google Earth Pro, and different statistical software, SPCS, PASS, and R. So many things. This is the today my paper. The objectives, 3 objectives of the study. First, rising awareness of YouTube, Facebook as one of the source of electronic educational provides that the serve the educational learning process. Second things, the contemporary method of education that enhance the student of self-learning and interaction with the curriculum electronically. Third, analysis of using of open source geographic tools and techniques identification. This is the methodology part in this paper. This part is e-learning of open source information and the teaching of geography in the qualitative analysis and perception studies in undergraduate students. We have taken up open source software and remote sensing techniques and global positioning systems, use the method in this study. Third, GIS method and technique of cartographic presentation stated that the particular use of open source learning method. Finally, in my research question or research hypothesis, geographical studies will go on the future learner. This is the traditional method in geography learning. It is the map, encyclopedia, globe, atlas. So some things. This is the modern method in geographical learning. Is the actually the recent technology, smartphone, tablet, desktop, laptop, overhead projector, and the software base. It is the geographical studies, is the open source software. It is the particular social networks, photos, video, blog, Wikipedia, so many etc. It is the online resource materials in the particulars name of different geographical website, social network site, Google Earth Pro, YouTube, photo sharing, TV channel, kids channel, interactive channel, so many etc. In this online movies, in geographical movies, in the particulars issue, these 2 movies in here, the volcano fire and the mountain and vertical limit 2. This is the popular movies in the geographical studies. So the open source learning in geographical students in available. Now in the YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp in the geography is the particulars. It is the particulars Facebook. Facebook. Okay, sir. It is the particulars how to Google Maps in created. It's the Google Maps. So many things is the road maps. The most popular thing it is the convenient of easy to check of the information. With the few click, we can search of location. It is the Google Earth Pro. It is the particulars the digitalized group. So somehow I search the BB College of Asansol. This is just Google Earth Image Pro is the searching. This is the entire college building, entire college field, and nearest Chittaranjan cricket ground. So many things enter the minor of second is the search of place and studies of geographical studies and creating of maps. It is the remote sensing technology. It is the popular no. It is the actually satellite image. This is the application of remote sensing of geomorphology, hydrology, crop health analysis, so many things. It is the geographical information system is the modern and recent techniques is the use of geographical application. It's the free source and open source software that studies of geography map making and data collection. This is the QGIS, the Graph GIS, Saga GIS, Eloise. This is the integrated land and water management system, Diva GIS. So many things are integrated in the open source software in the geographical platform with the help of student and the undergraduate, postgraduate, and research. So many now is the different source of geographical data is the particulars USGS. It is the geographical survey. Bhugol is the Indian Geo Platform. This is the organized of NRSC, National Remote Sensing Agency, IRNSS. It is the control by ISRO, Indian Space Resource Organization. It's the particulars data, Landsat data, Metasat data. So many data accurate thus in this there are field. The GLONASS is the Global Navigation Satellite System, Russia. Galileo GNSS system, navigation system. In the right hand side, in the particulars website, and there's the procure the data, and Japan in the Koshigenic satellite system. This is the finally conclusion or benefit of e-learning in the teaching and learning geography. It is enhanced access to quality of geography education. It helps of geography students to learn at their own pace. Third, e-learning significant saves time over the conventional classroom instruction. E-learning, the novelty of working with the computerized student interest in geography. E-learning ensure the globe competitiveness in geography education with the help of computer. This is my research question. Improve that geography are integrated present in information communication based technology based learning in the present context. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you attention for your for the particulars seminar organizer.
Yeah, am I audible, sir? Yeah. Sir, give me a minute. I can share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible? Okay. Can I start, sir? Okay. Good afternoon, respected chairpersons and other dignitaries. Myself, Kostub Chakravarti, is a librarian of Sister Nivedita Government General Degree College for Girls. Is going to present my topic, an overview of open access scholarly article discovery tools. So these are my map of ideas. So what I am going to tell in 5 minutes, that is the introduction, objectives. What do you mean by plugin discovery tools? Comparative overview about 5 open access discovery tools, and what will be the role of LIS professional, then the conclusion. So as we all know that the open access movement encourages researchers to publish their scholarly output in an open access journal, or it submit it to their institutional repository. So we have a various academic social networking site like academia.edu, ResearchGate, LinkedIn. They offer open access platforms where researchers can upload their research work, they can submit their research work, they can also discuss it among their like-minded people, and also share with others for more visibility purposes. So however, knowing which articles are available openly and searching for open articles to the million of web pages is very frustrating job for the researcher community. So finding the open articles took not only time but was also frustrating for the researcher. So to ease this process, some plugin software such as CUOER, Unpaywall, the open access button, Lazy Scholar, and Google Scholar button, they appear to break the paywall barriers for the scholar community. Now, the objectives of my study is to learn more about the browser extension software for open access article discovery, to find out how these softwares work, to help the researcher community for easy access to the open access articles, to determine which of the 5 plugin software works well, and to highlight the role of the LIS professionals. Now, what do you mean by plugin discovery tools? As we all know, if we see the information on the internet, and this is the every day it is generating new sources of information, and we are living in the age of information era. So there is no good way to save, annotate, and track the important things one can find. So therefore, bookmarks, browser tabs, and long copy or paste content documents are a very headache, and it is a very serious concern for the researcher community. So most documents are easily available on the internet, but there is a gap between the availability and the discoverability. So in this situation, open article discovery tools, they act as a good friend, philosopher, and guide to the researchers as well as the for the librarian community. So first one is the Google Scholar button. This is a software was built in 2015 for easy and speedy access to the literature in the Google Scholar databases from any web pages. And if you see Google Scholar button, it is a very easily integrated with the Google Scholar databases, and you can only plug in the software and by configuring Google Scholar with the library's URL. So more than 3 lakh users currently use this plugin software. Next one is the EndNote, or formerly it was known as CUOER-2023. So it is a very popular research tool for the researcher and scholars to find out their desired articles for millions of web sources. Even if find the articles in a paywall databases where it is authentically deposited. So if we consider the work procedures of the EndNote, we can see that it is a one-click access to the academic journal articles across library subscription, publishers' website, open access repositories, and databases such as like, and it can also integrate with the various reference softwares like Mendeley, EndNote, Dropbox. Dropbox is a one kind of smart platform where researchers can deposit their articles or research previous research work in that platform. And Jotero. So Jotero is also a reference management tool, so the users can easily export their desired references. Then next is the Lazy Scholar. It is a extension software personal project by Colby Borland, a postdoctoral who is a postdoctoral fellow at Indiana University in 2013. It harvests the data from Google Scholar, PubMed Central, Europe PubMed Center, DOAI, and DSM.in. So how Lazy Scholar integrates the work that will you will find it my full paper. I will not discuss due to the time constant. Next one is the open access button. It is if you see this work procedure of open access button, you can see that Joe MacArthur, McGilvery, Natalia Norori, and Sparks. What is the full form of Sparks? The Scholarly Publishing and Academic Research Coalition, who founded the open access button in November 2013, and also it aggregates the data from the unpaywall, share, various repositories like CUOER, OpenAIRE, Europe PMC, and the base is a biofield academic search engine, very popular search engine among the researcher community. Next one is the unpaywall. It means finding open access articles from the individual user through a plugin on extension browser, and it header paywall and JSON preem introduced an extension software to find open access for the full text literature for the researcher community, library staff, as well as the scholars in 2016. Now this is the comparative overview. As you see that I have categorized into the okay, sir. I go. So if you see this is chart here, I have not covered the whole comparative overview, which you will find in my full paper. There's the foundation here, who is the founder, which browser they supported, and the user community about the 5 open access article discovery tools, and the whether the full text is available, whether searching facility is available, how one users can search the resources from this with the help of this open access article discovery tools. That will be the main motto of my paper. So what will be the role of LIS professionals? So as you know, as a researcher, everyone are not aware of this plugin discovery tool. So as a library information science, we have to award them by orienting various programs like user education, and what are the recent changes in education sector. Now we have a artificial intelligence, we have a internet of things, virtual reality, augmented reality. So these are the new things, and then national education policy also envisions the holistic developments and inclusivity of the education sector through various ICT tools. So also librarians should aware about the various open educational initiatives nationally as well as internationally, so that users community they can understand the importance of OER as well as they can use it OER in a very efficient and effective manner. So now, as per the deep analysis, this study recommended unpaywall and EndNote Click as the best scholarly discovery tools, and it has broad coverage because of publisher integration. Various publisher like Scopus or websites, we can integrate them, and Unpaywall automatically detects whether a free version is available. Also, researcher can access the data by using the API REST, download weekly data feed or simple query tool, and users will be very compatible with CopenNeo because it has more options to jump the paywall barrier. So this software gives a request tool for the articles which is not open access. User can request the author to grant access to the desired article. So thank you very much for your present hearing.
Yes, sir. Desai. Okay. Good afternoon, all the chairpersons and dignitaries. National seminar on creation and use of open educational resources. And first of all, I want to thank you, uh, Banwarilal Bhalutia College from Asansol and NET for sponsoring and organizing this beautiful national seminar. So I can and we all can present our topics prep on the papers of the open education resources. Now, my title of the paper is Guiding Points for Creators and Users of the Open Education Resources from the Evaluating Systems. Here, this is the content in which will be presented in this presentation. Let me introduce first about this research paper, which is the guiding points on open education resources. So, what is open education resources? Basically, educational resources which are for education and which are freely accessible educational materials that can be used, shared, and adapted by teachers, students, and self learners. Educational institutions and organizations, teachers and educators, and students all over the world increasingly use OER to promote collaboration and innovation in education, to supplement teaching with instructional materials and create learning resources. Why awareness to creators and users regarding open educational resources is important? Here are the points which verifies it, which are to assure that education resources are freely available, flexible, and customizable, cultural sharing and innovation in the education. It can help creators to develop high quality, customizable, and freely accessible resources that can be shared and adapted by a global audience. How it could means awareness regarding OER helps users, which it benefits them from increased access to educational materials, cost savings, collaborative opportunities, and personalized learning experience. Objective of these studies are to find out guiding points for creating OER for best teaching to learners, and another is to find out guiding points for users to select the OER for learning purposes. Literature which are reviewed for this study are as below. Report of 15th European Conference on Technology Enhanced Learning in 2020 revealed that OER quality assessment has become essential to support learners and teachers in the search for high quality of OERs. Abdul Wahid, Nagy, and Crawford in 2012 had researched in the development and evaluation of OER for enhancing the learning experience of students of engineering. Their study also proposed a set of criteria gave and proposed for evaluating OER for selecting appropriate resources for learning. Further, Elias and their et al. In 2020 evaluated open educational resources in terms of quality. Researchers found that maximum faculties were not aware of OER and found that OER and software hot top hat removed students' learning barriers and also increased the quality of learning. and had potential to succeed over obstacles in education. Villavicencio, Rivello, and Penacasi in 2017 evaluated using LabVIEW-based control systems, analysis toolkit, and process control virtual laboratory used for theoretical and practical study in open educational resources. The evaluation by them indicated a positive impact of OER on students. And the last one is Yamuchi, Aguchi, and Ogura in 2020 developed a new materials for online education in geomorphology by using geographical information services. They evaluated the usability and learning effects of the materials and surveyed opinions on the usability of 3D maps and had a positive impact on their students. Friends, here are two proposed models for evaluating OER, which suggest some criteria which should be taken care while creating and using open educational resources. Model by open textbooks review criteria gives following criteria to evaluate OER, which are: first is comprehensiveness, which describes that the whole text of the open text should cover all ideas from all areas of the subject with a proper index and glossary. Second, content accuracy. The content of the textbook or in yes. Okay. Okay. Content accuracy, relevance or longevity, clarity should consistency, modularity, organization, structure, flow, interface, grammatical errors, cultural relevance. These are included in open textbooks review criteria. Second is OER evaluating criterion by Affordable Learning Georgia. They focus on scope and sequence, accuracy in content, instructional design, clarity in text, visual clarity and loyalty, accessibility and inclusive design. And last one is in additional materials. These two models give following guiding points extracted from both models. In short, are here presented here, which are that whole OER should be comprehensive and whole OER should taken care about organization or structure or flow of the topic of any subject in OER, and also additional materials on focus should focus on additional material, proper additional materials. Second is to taken care about content used in OER. That content should be accurate, should have accuracy, should have clarity, and should have relevance and longevity. Last, text presented in OER should follow consistency, modularity, interface, instructional design, accessibility, inclusive design, and last is visual clarity must be taken care for this. And guiding points classified here. These are the classified guiding points for creators and users. So for guiding points for creators are alignment with learning objectives, accuracy and reliability, pedagogical effectiveness, accessibility and inclusivity, technical functionality, licensing and copyright considerations. And the guiding points for users are, before using OER, are relevance to learning goals, quality and accuracy, ease of use and navigation, engagement and interactivity, accessibility features, and last one is openness and licensing. So this study, this guide conclude with conclusion of this study is these guiding points will help creators and users in developing high quality OER and evaluating the OER effectively to select the correct one for their learning purpose respectively. Efforts of creators and users may contribute inclusive, accessible and equitable learning systems in education. OER creators and users democratize access to knowledge, promote collaborative learning, and thus bring a positive impact to society. These references were used for this study, and thank you for listening me. Thank you.
Hello, sir. নমস্কার, আমি সুস্মিতা গড়াই। আমার গবেষণার শিরোনাম লিটল ম্যাগাজিন অ্যাজ অ্যান ওপেন এডুকেশনাল resource in the selected libraries of Bankura town. A survey in the selected libraries of Bankura town and critical study. আমি মূলত বাঁকুড়া জেলার 3টি লাইব্রেরিতে সংগৃহীত এবং সংরক্ষিত লিটল ম্যাগাজিন কিভাবে ওপেন এডুকেশনাল রিসোর্স হিসেবে কাজ করছে এবং পাঠকদের কিভাবে তা সাহায্য করছে সেই বিষয়টিকে আমার গবেষণা ক্ষেত্রে প্রদান করার চেষ্টা করেছি। আমি যে 3টি লাইব্রেরিকে নির্বাচন করেছি সেগুলি হলো রাঢ় একাডেমি গ্রন্থাগার, পশ্চিম রাঢ় ঐতিহাসিক সংস্কৃতি চর্চা কেন্দ্র ও পৌরবার্তা গ্রন্থাগার। আমি আমার গবেষণাপত্রটিতে দেখানোর চেষ্টা করেছি এই 3টি লাইব্রেরিতে যে সংগ্রহিত লিটল ম্যাগাজিন গুলি রয়েছে সেগুলি যে শুধুমাত্র যে তথ্য ভান্ডার বা বিভিন্ন তথ্য পরিপূর্ণ করে সেগুলোই নয়, পাঠকদের কাছে এটা ওইআর হিসেবে ব্যাপকভাবে কাজ করে। এই ওপেন এডুকেশনাল রিসোর্স হিসেবে লিটল ম্যাগাজিন সামাজিক ক্ষেত্রে একটা বৃহৎ গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করে থাকে। অন্যান্য লিটল ম্যাগাজিনের ক্ষেত্রে যে শুধুমাত্র নির্দিষ্ট বিষয়বস্তুকে এক্সপ্লোর করে, সেখানে ওপেন এডুকেশনাল রিসোর্স হিসেবে বিপুল বৈচিত্র্যপূর্ণ যে ভান্ডারের হদিস দিয়ে থাকে এই লিটল ম্যাগাজিনগুলি এবং ইউজার বা পাঠকদের যে বিভিন্ন তথ্য সংগ্রহ করতে সাহায্য করে। এক্ষেত্রে আমি 3টি লাইব্রেরি থেকে যে সমস্ত পত্রপত্রিকাগুলিকে নির্বাচন করেছি তার বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছি। সেক্ষেত্রে পাঠকদের ক্ষেত্রে তারা বিভিন্নভাবে তথ্যে পরিপূর্ণ হয়েছে এবং বিভিন্ন তথ্যে তারা হদিস পেয়েছে। যেমন রাঢ় একাডেমি গ্রন্থাগার থেকে যেমন গ্রামণিকা পত্রিকা, যেগুলো গৌর চণ্ডীদাস, পশ্চিম রাঢ়ের প্রত্নতত্ত্ব, জঙ্গলমহল, লোকদেবী, বাঁকুড়ার অর্থগত লোকসঙ্গীত পরিবেশের আলোচনা করেছে এবং পাঠকের কাছে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তথ্যের হদিস দিয়েছে। এছাড়া আছে অনুরুজু, পুরুলিয়া প্রভুক্ষেত্র, চোলায়মান গোস্বামী পরিবারের হোমিওপ্যাথি বিষয়ে বিভিন্ন মন্তব্য জানা যায়। তৃষা নামক পত্রিকাতে বিভিন্ন শিবের গাজনের যে বিভিন্ন রকম রিচুয়ালস, গাজনের গান পড়া, বাঁকুড়া পীর ফকিরের সংস্কৃতি, পীর পুকুরের মেলা, এগুলো সম্পর্কে জানা গেছে। আবার আছে আজকের যোধন, যেটা বিশ্বায়ন ও লোক সংস্কৃতি, আদিবাসী সংস্কৃতি, লোকগীতের ভূমিকা, মনোজ মিত্রের নাটকে যে লোকগীতের ভূমিকা রয়েছে তা জানা যায়, আদিবাসী বিভিন্ন পরব ইত্যাদি বিষয় উঠে। এছাড়া পশ্চিম রাঢ় ইতিহাস ও সংস্কৃতি চর্চা কেন্দ্রে যে সমস্ত পত্রিকাগুলি পেয়েছি তার মধ্যে কয়েকটি, যেমন বাঁকুড়ার লোক সংস্কৃতি পত্রিকা, এই লোক সংস্কৃতি, কুটির শিল্প, লোক উৎসব, লোক সংস্কৃতি সমাজতত্ত্ব, লোকরত্ন সংগ্রহ, গ্রাম সমীক্ষা ইত্যাদি বর্ণিত রয়েছে, যা পাঠকের কাছে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তথ্যের হদিস দেয়। লোক সংস্কৃতি গবেষণা পত্রিকা, যেটা ডাইনি লোক সমাজ, আদিবাসী সমাজ, ডাইনি বিশ্বাস, বাউল ফকির, লোকসাহিত্য, লালন তত্ত্ব, নৃতাত্ত্বিক দৃষ্টিকোণে, ঝুমুর ইত্যাদি বিভিন্ন বিষয় উঠে এসছে। শব্দশাব্দিক নামক পত্রিকাতে বাংলা লোকজীবনের সঙ্গের প্রভাব, ভারতীয় লোকনৃত্য, লোক সংস্কৃতি, একালে জিজ্ঞাসা ইত্যাদি বিষয় উঠে এসছে। লোকশ্রুতি নামক পত্রিকাতে মনসা মঙ্গল কাব্য, প্রাচীন বাংলা শিল্পধারা, লোক সংস্কৃতির অঙ্গনে আদিবাসী জীবনে বিশ্বাস ও কুসংস্কার। হ্যালো, ওকে 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 মনসামঙ্গল কাব্য, প্রাচীন বাংলা শিল্পধারা, লোক সংস্কৃতির অঙ্গনে আদিবাসী জীবনে বিশ্বাস ও কুসংস্কার ইত্যাদি বিষয় উঠে এসছে। এছাড়া পৌরবার্তা লাইব্রেরি, যেটা আমার 3য় লাইব্রেরি, সেখানে রয়েছে খেয়ালি পত্রিকা, অসীয়মান পত্রিকা, চিন্তা ভাবনা, এছাড়া তুলসী চন্দন। এছাড়া পূর্ণাঙ্গ আমার পেপারটিতে আরো এরকম 50-60টি পত্রপত্রিকার বিষয় সম্পর্কে আমি আলোচনা করেছি। অর্থাৎ এই লিটল ম্যাগাজিন বা ওপেন এডুকেশনাল রিসোর্স হিসেবে বিভিন্নভাবে আমাদের বিভিন্ন তথ্যের হদিস দিয়েছে এবং আঞ্চলিক ইতিহাস চর্চা ও লোক সংস্কৃতি চর্চা হিসেবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করেছে। ধন্যবাদ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
আচ্ছা, এক মিনিট, সুস্মিতা ম্যাডাম, আপনি যেটা বললেন এই লাইব্রেরি, এটা কি আঞ্চলিক অর্থে না, এটা পার্টিকুলারলি বেঙ্গলি নিয়ে, তাই তো?
হ্যালো, আচ্ছা আমি কথাটা ক্লিয়ারলি শুনতে পাচ্ছি না, একবার বলুন।
বলছি আপনার এই গবেষণা আমাদের সাহিত্য দিক দিয়ে কতটা মানে উন্নত, আমি এটাকে
আপনার কথাটা একদমই শোনা যাচ্ছে না, একবার প্লিজ একটু ভালো করে বলুন। হ্যালো।
এবারে শোনা যাচ্ছে? হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলুন, আমি ক্লিয়ার প্রথমে শুনতে পাচ্ছি, তারপর শেষের দিকটা শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
বলছি আপনি যে আপনার যে গবেষণার এটা বললেন সেটা
হ্যাঁ,
লোক সাহিত্যর দিক দিয়ে কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ?
লোক সাহিত্যের দিক দিয়ে কতটা গুরুত্ব, হ্যাঁ
হুম
বলুন।
হুম, হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ, ওটাই কোশ্চেন।
ও, লোক সাহিত্যের দিক দিয়ে কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। আচ্ছা, লোক সাহিত্যের দিক দিয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বলতে আমরা যে পত্রিকাগুলো থেকে যে লোক সংস্কৃতি বা আঞ্চলিক ইতিহাস সম্পর্কিত তথ্যগুলো পাচ্ছি, এটা আমাদের পাঠকদের কাছে, যারা মনে করুন বিভিন্ন ঐতিহাসিক বিষয় নিয়ে গবেষণা করছে, এসব তাদের ক্ষেত্রে এই তথ্যগুলো খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। লোক সাহিত্যে বলতে আপনার বিভিন্ন যে লোক সাহিত্য বলতে,
ধরুন ধরুন একটা এক্সাম্পল ধরুন, আমি পুরুলিয়া বা বাঁকুড়াতে থাকছি, ঠিক আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
তাহলে আমার এই আঞ্চলিক সংস্কৃতির সাথে, ঠিক আছে,
হুম,
আঞ্চলিক সংস্কৃতির সাথে আপনার যে গবেষণা করছেন সেটাকে আমি কিভাবে দেখবো, সেটা কিভাবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, সেটা
আঞ্চলিক
কিভাবে
ইতিহাসের
আজকে
ক্ষেত্রে।
আপনি তো একটা গবেষণা করছেন একটা কোনো পার্টিকুলার বিষয়ের উপর, কোনো একটা নির্দিষ্ট বিষয়ের উপর, না?
হুম
সেটা
হুম
কি আঞ্চলিক ভাবে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, না এটা বৃহত্তর একটা কোনো সামাজিক দিক দিয়েও এটা? ওকে 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 ওকে, শিওর শিওর, ওকে ওকে, I will contact definitely.
ওকে 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 ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.